Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving into something I think we've all felt. That little sting of resentment when you see someone succeed and it looks like they didn't even try.
So why do we resent that effortless success? Well, to figure that out, we're going to look at a pretty obscure but honestly a really powerful character from 19th century literature. He's kind of the key to unlocking a universal and maybe uncomfortable truth about ourselves.
So, let's get into it. Our subject is a character named Zverkov. Now, he's from a Dostoevsky story, and he's only on the page for a little bit, but man, he acts like a scalpel, perfectly dissecting this really specific and very real type of human dynamic.
And here's the crazy part. He's a minor character, but he inspires this major, even murderous, resentment in the story's protagonist, the underground man. So what's going on here? Why does this guy provoke such an extreme reaction? That's what we need to figure out.
Okay, let's put Zverkov under the microscope. What is it about this guy? What are the specific traits that make him so infuriatingly superior?
It really boils down to this idea of effortless superiority. It's that unbearable lightness of normal success, the kind that can feel like a personal insult if you're one of the people who has to fight for every single inch. So if we look at his emotional profile, Zverkov is almost insultingly simple. He's just happy. He's pleased with himself. He's totally at home in his own skin. And when people admire him, he just accepts it, like it's the most natural thing in the world. There's zero inner conflict, none. His whole deal is this radiant self-satisfaction, totally free of any doubt. But, and this is the really interesting part, the protagonist doesn't just see this as him being shallow. No, to the underground man, Zverkov's simplicity looks like he was somehow chosen, like he won a cosmic lottery for an easy, successful life. And for a guy who is so hyper-conscious and struggles with everything, that is what makes Zverkov a monster. And this slide just lays it all out, right? You've got these two worlds colliding. Zverkov lives in this sunlit world, unreflective ego, just focused on status and pleasure. And then there's the protagonist, trapped in his underground of pathological hyperconsciousness and constant self-laceration. They're not just different, they are complete and total opposites. So you see, because of that huge contrast, Zverkov doesn't actually have to do anything malicious to be a tormentor. His very existence, just the easy, breezy way he moves through the world, is a form of torture for our protagonist.
And things really come to a head during this dinner scene. The underground man has been totally ignored all night. And then, suddenly, Zverkov raises a toast to him, saying, "Gentlemen, isn't he a pig?" But here's the thing. The insult itself, the word pig, isn't even the point. What makes it so lethal is the carelessness. He just tosses it off without a second thought, like you'd flick a crumb to a dog. The real message is, you are so beneath me, you're not even worth the effort of a real insult.
Okay, so let's zoom out. Because this isn't just some dusty character from an old book, right? This Zverkov is an archetype. He's a type of person I guarantee we all know in our own lives.
I mean, think about it. He's that popular kid from school, the one who never even noticed he was hurting anyone. His confidence was just effortless, and it left other people feeling totally invisible. Or maybe it's that colleague at work, the one who gets the promotion without seeming to even try. They just sail through and their success feels both totally inevitable and, if we're being honest, completely unearned.
Really, at the end of the day, Zverkov is anyone whose effortless confidence and happiness feels like a personal rebuke. It makes you question your own struggles, your own worth. Their joy doesn't lift you up. It feels like a quiet judgment.
And that leads us to a really uncomfortable quote, but one that I think nails it. It says that, quote, "Murderous rage can be generated by nothing more sinister than another person's untroubled enjoyment of life." Just think about that. The most intense resentment can come not from someone being evil, but just from them being happy. So in the end, the Zverkov archetype really forces us to look in the mirror. It's all about envy and insecurity, and it leaves us with a pretty tough question to chew on. Just how fragile is our dignity when we're faced with someone else's happiness?